part two to a video I did earlier about a parent who wanted 50-50 time. Basically, father wanted 50-50 time as a fireman, and the question was, what's the schedule going to look like, or what can I do about it? And I said in that video, that's kind of tough unless you got some real substantial evidence that the kids shouldn't be with that other parent when they're home, which for a firefighter is a lot unless they have a side job. So the other question, the follow-up was, the person listed another issue. Husband wants half of equity in house, no child support, and doesn't want kids to continue in current established private school. Okay, half of equity in house, well, you don't describe any of the other assets, so I don't know how that's going to wash out. You're going to get half of their fireman's pension, which they're not going to love. So that's a big thing on the table. And I don't know what other assets or investments you've got, so I don't know how to address this. But generically speaking, if a person's going to leave the home, they're going to get half of the equity in the house, and you're going to need to buy them out some way by trading some other assets that they might owe you, refinancing and doing a cash out refinance based on that equity. You don't mention the equity, so I don't know whether that's easy, hard, or what. So yeah, that normally, if there's no way to do it otherwise, the court's going to order the home sold and you'll split the proceeds. No child support, no, I described in the earlier video that just because you have 50-50 time doesn't mean there's no child support. It just means if you're making more of the money, you're going to pay a lot less child support, but you'll still pay. In addition to roughly half of uncovered expenses like uncovered medical, orthodontic, extracurricular education expenses. The other thing I said was established private school, doesn't want to continue. Well, that one you're going to have to hash out with the judge. If it's not reasonable to do private school because it's too expensive, and that's obvious if you show the court might go along with that, but the court does prefer status quo situations, like keeping things the same. If it's reasonable enough to keep them in the private school, the court will likely say that you both need to chip into the private school. So you'll both be contributing to that according to your relative incomes after you receive child support. So look at your income after receipt of support, your ex's income after they pay support, and it's likely that if you fight over that issue, if it's a positive for the kids and you guys can afford it, my guess is the court would recommend as a settlement that be split according to your relative ability to pay. That's a guess. You got to talk to your own attorney, and all these things, your mileage may vary. So there's no substitute for getting good legal advice from an experienced divorce lawyer in your area. Thanks. Please keep the questions coming. I'm Rayford Dalton Palmer, best-selling author and managing partner of SDG Divorce Law in Chicago.